Have you seen the news reports coming out of Ballymena in Northern Ireland overnight and during this morning? It's really kicked off, properly kicked off. So there's been rioting, there's been violence, there's been a few houses burnt, and I think up to 12, 15 policemen have been injured in the troubles. It's really not good. It's very unsettled. So what's caused it? Well, the story is that these attacks have been against the houses that were supposedly lived in by a couple of migrant families. And the reason these houses were attacked was that the teenage sons of these migrant families, who I believe, and as I say, this is alleged at the moment, alleged are Romanian, either raped or sexually assaulted some girls over the weekend. It came to light who they were, and the locals took it upon themselves to exact revenge. And it's a general attack on and protest against the volume of immigrants, and apparently there's been ongoing sexual assaults, harassment of women, etc., etc., and the locals have lost their shit, basically. Now, this comes on the back of large-scale protests and marches in many Southern Irish, Republic of Ireland, towns and cities over the last month or so. There was a big one in Cork. I think it was the weekend that had probably tens of thousands of people on it. And there's been quite a lot of general melees, fighting, and interactions with the Garda, the Southern Irish Police Force. And it's kicking off out there as well. So why is it suddenly come to a head in Ireland, more so probably than it has here? Well, my theory on that is twofold. Firstly, the population of Ireland and Northern Ireland is obviously much, much smaller than it is of the UK and Scotland and Wales. And so therefore, the numbers that they have had in their societies, in their towns, in their cities are high, but it's much, much more noticeable because the population generally is smaller. And so therefore, the local population have recognised that the demographics of their towns have changed and changed very, very quickly over a relatively short period of time. And these people are much, much more noticeable in smaller communities, basically. Obviously, you're getting levels of crime going up, and off the back of that, the local Irish people are not happy about it, whether it's Northern Ireland or Southern Ireland. But I think also what you've got is a general population that over the last 60, 70 years have grown up, not so much in the last 20 years, but certainly in the previous sort of 40, 50 years, have grown up in an atmosphere where street troubles, protest, violence, fighting was very much part of their day-to-day lives. Not in every town, but certainly in many of them. The police were on the streets, the army were on the streets, people rebelled against authority. People have less of a fear, I think, in that country of rebelling against the authority figures, rebelling against the police, rebelling against the government than they do here, just because it was commonplace for so long. So even if it's youngsters that are doing it now, they grew up on stories of their parents, their dads, their fathers, their uncles, kicking off, whether it was in support of the Republican cause, whether it was in support of the Unionist cause, whether it was against the police, whether it was against the British Army, whatever it might be, it's part of their sort of DNA. And so now it's very easy for them to recapture that and start to fight back. And what's the latest cause? Well, it's immigration, mass immigration, and what's that is doing to their communities and their societies. And they're just not having it. I've seen lots of people saying that they feel that Ireland generally is almost at breaking point. It's a tinderbox. It's ready to blow. It would be very sad if that happens, but it could happen. And if it happens, I don't think necessarily it would be the first European country that it does happen in. You're seeing what's going on in LA at the moment. Similar, slightly different situation, but related situation. We had troubles in this country last summer. Whether that was right or wrong, it was a similar cause, if you like, or rumours of a similar cause that set it all off. I don't think we're seeing the end of this. I think we're just seeing the start of it. So, have you watched the news? Have you seen what's going on in Ballymena in Northern Ireland? Did you see what was going on in Cork and many other European towns over the weekend? Do you think that's going to spread to England, Wales, Scotland anytime soon? And what other European countries potentially could it happen in? Let me know your thoughts.